I go in, I come out, I go to AG's house, we play 3-on-3, we go to paintball, like we have a good time. So I come back for, go to work Monday, and how they tell you have a fine is they just put a piece of paper on your chair so you see it, like before you sit down. So I come in, I'm about to get dressed, and I look down, and there's a piece of paper on my chair, and it was a $15,000 fine.
Dad used to tell me all the time, son, don't worry about the mules, just load the wagon.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Rock Chalk Unplugged. I'm Chris Tehan here with my co-host Mitch Lightfoot, and we got a special guest today, Christian Braun. Welcome to the show, baby.
What's up, y'all?
Super pumped to have you on. Obviously, coming off a big win against the Suns. Seeing you out there locking up one of the greatest scorers of all time. Can you talk about a little bit about that and what's the hype going into Game 3?
Yeah, man, we're having fun. I think we're obviously in a good spot. Like the guys, we're all pretty much on the same page, and obviously the NBA is, a little different. We'll get into that, but just like guarding, like you said, like guarding KD, guarding Book, like it's weird that that's my job now. And then like before the series, they were like, hey, we want you to pick up Chris Paul at 94 feet, and I was like talking to my brother, and I was like, bro, if you would have told me that a couple of years ago, like that's the weirdest thing I've heard. But that's pretty much my job. So I run around there, for 20 minutes and play defense all game. So
what's the
you have to be different. Like you were like not an offensive minded guy, but you never were like a lockdown defender. And now, like, yeah, you're like your job is to like literally go pick these guys up 94 feet. Like, is that something you just embraced off rip, or you learned that at Kansas, or is it just kind of like the only way I'm going to get minutes is if I clamp up?
Yeah, I think that like I tell people all the time. Like, remember Coach Self my freshman year was like me and Jalen Wilson were the worst defenders like on the team, like all the time. Like we would watch film, and I was always like the worst defender, and you can't guard anybody 1-on-1. And I didn't like try to change anything, to be honest with you. It's just like. I try to play hard, like that's kind of my thing. But you get here and it's like everybody's really good. Like everybody's can score, everybody, can play. So it's like if you want to be on the court, like you have to do something. And I think I just got to the point where it was like going into the draft on my junior year, there was like some buzz, like all right, he's a good 3-and-D, defender, and I mean. Just kind of ran with it, and like so ever since then, like everybody's like, man, we're gonna draft you, and we think you could, be a good defender along with Yoke, or with Jamal, and help those guys out. And I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, I can do that. Like, so basically, every time I get out there, it's like, all right, my job is to defend, and obviously, I think I've turned myself into a good defender, and I've done a good job this year. So that's pretty much what I do now. Speaking
of the draft, like talk a little bit about how. You went a lot higher than a lot of people were projecting, and talk about, did you know beforehand? Did you have an idea, or was that kind of a surprise to you?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we had our little parade, had a little fun, and then went into pre-draft. And kind of going into pre-draft, I was pretty much in a spot similar to where Jalen's at now. Like I could go anywhere from 20 to 40, and I didn't want to go in the second round. I didn't want to be on the two-way. And so basically going into that, I'm like, man, I need to get myself to the first round. So I kind of went in late to the workouts, played pretty well at Combine, obviously, put myself in a good position going into like the team workouts, played really well in some team workouts. And then as we got closer to the draft, you don't know exactly where you're going. Like that's not, how it works. But I kind of knew I had a floor, of I'm going to go in the first round. So basically, I decided to go to the draft, and there was uncertainty with it. I didn't know where I was going to go still, but I wanted to be there. Like I wanted to shake Adam Silver's hand, and that's a dream for everybody. But that's kind of where I wanted to be. And then I kind of had an idea I was going to go to Denver. Like that was a spot that I visited towards the end. I ended up canceling some workouts, and then I went 21. And then throughout the whole year, it was like I was playing more minutes than a lot of guys that went ahead of me. And I think that I got myself, to a good situation, a good team. And like you said, like I can play defense, run and dunk in transition and shoot threes. And like, that's what I'm good at. So pretty much ended up in a perfect situation for me. Obviously we're the number one seed. So, got to have, at the end of the year when guys were resting, got to play a little more, and try new things. So like, it was perfect for me. But I mean, to be honest with you, I went 21, and I think if there was a redraft, I think I would go a lot higher. So, I mean, that's kind of my point to prove. Like I saw a tweet that was out the other day. It was like, I'm the last rookie, playing rotation minutes. And that was kind of my goal. I know I'm not going to be the guy that gets to shoot 15 times a game, but, I wanted to be the last guy that was, making an impact, obviously, and winning. So, to be honest, if there was a redraft, I think I should go higher. But, 21 was where I landed.
100%, 100%. Talk about your draft night. What's draft night look like? A lot of people want to know about that. It's a very interesting situation. What's that like?
Yeah, so honestly, like my dad, my mom and my dad were very split on what they wanted to do. My dad's like the biggest, Kansas guy, wanted me to go back to school. Like was like, no, you need to get your degree. You need to get your degree. And I'm like, Dad, like, no, you don't. I think you don't understand it. Like, and I was trying to explain to him. He said, I want you to, I want that last year at Kansas. And when the deadline came, I was like, man, like I'm gonna skip. Basically, it was gonna be the most fun year of my life. Like I was gonna get to go back and play at Kansas. In a spot where I was super comfortable, with Jalen, with DeJuan, like, that's what I was really looking forward to. But I was like, this is an opportunity, you obviously can't miss out on. So, I mean, the leading up to the draft, like I said, I was in a good spot. I think a lot of people go into it and they have no idea what's going to happen. Like, but I was put in a pretty good spot. I think my agency did a good job with it, and I think I did a good job, handling, my business going up until then. So going into the draft now, I was pretty stress free. Obviously my parents were obviously still pretty nervous, and I'm not telling them everything, that I knew, but we were pretty confident in Denver at 21 and Denver at 30. So we didn't think we were going to fall past 30 because they had 2 picks, but we were pretty confident in 21 because we had people, trying to trade up a little higher to get me too. So we were confident, going into it. But draft night, as far as like the lead up, obviously everybody's nervous. Like the buzz is crazy. Like this is like your one night that can't go wrong. Like, because if it goes wrong, I can't go back to school. So it's like you're nervous going into it. But I was in a good spot. So like I said, I was pretty like, pretty at ease. But then I had all my friends come. So like I had like a ton of friends, ton of family. My mom brought her friends. So basically, if you know anything about my family, like it was a party in New York. That's pretty much what it was for us. And then the draft went perfectly, exactly how we thought it was going to go. Went to the team I wanted to go to. So the whole draft went perfect. Like, obviously, it's a little nerve-wracking when you're in it. Goes perfect, and then, afterwards we go have, like, a big dinner. We go out, obviously, and then I think there's some pictures out there, like, it worked cool because I had, like, a draft party with my family and my friends, and then Ochai ended up, coming with his family. So it's like me, Och, his mom, my dad, his dad, and then Coach Self all at Tao in the club at like 2 a.m. Like, so it's like, this is like, you couldn't have like, I have so many pictures and videos obviously that I would love to post, but like, of just me, like me, Coach Self, Och, like my family, his family, my friends, his friends, like, just in Brooklyn after the draft, like, it's like our best life, like couldn't have been more perfect. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. That's everything you dream about.
Did you think though, like right out, like when you got drafted, it would be like a perfect fit? I mean, you really like fit in. I mean, I know you mentioned a little bit like it was a good fit, but like, did you really get out there and be like, okay, yeah, like this is where I can hit my ceiling the early, not my ceiling, but like be able to start growing in the right way and actually contributing to a team that, I mean, shit, yeah, you guys are the 1 seed, that team that wins. Was that like a thought in your mind immediately?
I would say that's where my agent kind of wanted me to go through the whole process. And I watched the NBA a lot, watched a lot of LeBron, to be honest with you. Chris knows that, but
yeah.
I didn't watch the Nuggets that much. But my agent's like, man, I think the Nuggets are a great fit for you, like playing. But then you think about it, you get to thinking like, all right, I get to run to the corner. Nikola Jokic is going to make the game easier for everybody, so automatically you look better playing with them anyways. They're a team that plays in transition, which is probably what I'm best at. I get to shoot wide open threes because everybody's looking at Nikola and Jamal. And then I get to guard, like I said, going into it, they're like, all right, you get to guard, probably the best player. But going into it, I think even the team, maybe the coaches were like, they put me out there and they know I'm going to play hard, and they would put me on like, one of the guys who isn't really scoring, but it's like developed into, all right, CB, when you're out there, like you got KD. Like our book gets hot, like, all right, CB, switch on the book. So like that's what it turned into, and that's what the role I carved out. But I don't know that I knew it was going to be that perfect, and there was definitely some up and downs. I'm sure you guys watched. Like there was times where I'm playing a lot. There was times where I started games, There's times where I had DNPs. Like there was ups and downs, but it was like after the trade deadline, we kind of hit a stride. Like, and then I knew like, all right, this is going to be my role. This is how many minutes I'm going to play. And it's still like you go out there and it's like you're probably going to get in, but depending on how you play, plus minus wise, that's pretty much how you're going to play. Like you could come in and make a mistake and then not get in for the rest of the half. So we just got to be ready for those things. And there was ups and downs, but I think that looking like across the league, as far as fits go for everybody that got drafted, I don't know if there's a rookie in a better spot than me.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
agree with that.
100%? What's the difference for you between Coach Self and Coach Malone? Like, what's the difference between the two?
Oh man, I could go on for this for a long time. So basically, I tell people this all the time. Coach Self, Coach Self and Coach Malone actually are pretty similar as far as like their mindset, their mentality. They're both pretty old school guys, like to raise their voice a little bit, like to get after you. But the difference is, I don't know that Coach Malone can do it as much because Coach Self is a college coach. Being a college coach is a lot different than being an NBA coach. Like in college, you can really yell at guys. Like you can yell at them, you can cuss them out, you can call them names, and you're still their head coach, and there's nothing they can do about it. And the same, everybody respects Coach Self too. That's another big thing. It's like he can call you whatever names, and you still love him, the same way. But I would say that Coach Self, they're the same way, but Coach Self is allowed to be himself more. Like Coach Malone isn't really, going out here and cussing Nikola Jokic out. Like Nikola Jokic is a 2-time MVP,
back-to-back MVP.
Yeah, like you said, like this isn't a guy you can go out here and cuss out because at the end of the day, like he's great. He's going to do his job though. So we have guys on our team that I would say are very respectful to coach, and there's not many situations, but I can imagine around the league that there is a lot of situations where people don't, respect their head coach as much. And that's definitely not how it is, in Denver. But there's definitely similarities mindset wise. But Coach Self is definitely allowed to get after his players more than Coach Malone is, I would say.
Yeah, it's talk about like you can tell. Like I've watched the games lately, and I watch all the highlights after. Like, what is the confidence that Coach Malone and Jamal Murray and Jokic and all of them have like in you? Does that make it easier to go out there and play? I know like you're probably on a short leash, but like it has to at least be in your mind a little bit. Those dudes are confident, and they love the way you play, and they love what you bring to the team.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know this. Same, like you said, was saying with Coach Self. Like it's something that you have to earn. Like with Coach Malone, it was like I don't know that we can trust a rookie in the playoffs guarding KD, or I don't know that So he's giving me room to grow. He's giving me I've made mistakes obviously, so he's really let me play through those things. And like I said, there's times where I haven't been able to play through them as much, and that's frustrating obviously. But Coach Malone, like I said, I can't complain about him at all. Like he has let me play through mistakes in the playoffs. He's let me, do all these things, whether it's the fourth quarter, the first quarter. Like, he's giving me a pretty good leash, and I think that the guys know that I'm going to go out there and I'm not going to try to shoot it, too many times, or I'm not going to try to force anything. So that's where I think the trust is with them. Like, I enjoy playing with those guys. I think they enjoy playing with me. And just trying to make it easier on them. Like, I literally go out there and it's like, all right, Jamal, you go score 40. I don't care how many I score, but like, let me help you out on defense. Like Jamal was out there the other day and had like 35 in game one. And I told him, like, bro, look, you don't need to go. Like, you don't need to score every point on offense and then go guard Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. You don't need to do that. Like when a rookie comes in, I can chase those guys around. I can, So I tell them that and I let them know that. I'm just there to help. I'm there to make them look better, make their job easier, and so I think that's probably where the trust comes with them for sure. For
like Jokic, he seems like a very I would say quiet guy. What's he like being a teammate? What's he like on the court? What's the MO with Jokic?
Yeah, I think that everybody kind of has different perspectives of him. And coming in, I didn't know what to expect, but he is quiet, doesn't talk a lot, extremely focused on what he has to do. Like he comes in, it's different than college, obviously. Like he comes in to work, like it's work for him. Like he comes into work. He does his same exact routine every single day, whether it's a game day. If it's a game day, plays his game, lifts after. Like he does it. He does his job. Loves his family. basically goes home and is a dad, like, so he comes in and does his job. That's literally what it is for him. Like, everybody's like, man, why doesn't he get into the MVP stuff? Or he doesn't care. Like, he comes in and he gets his 40-point triple-double, wins the game, goes home, and is, a dad. So, and a husband. So that's a lot of, like, it's different than college. But, like, Nikola's, like, the most low-maintenance, 2-time back-to-back MVP, you'll ever see. All he wants to do is win. And he just comes in, like you said, comes into work, does his job, gets his 40-point triple-double, and goes home. That's pretty much what he does every day.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
if you had to describe his court vision, would you describe it as like him looking in third person?
It's crazy. Like, have you, like, some of the passes, like, you aren't even looking at him, or like you have no idea he knows you're there. Especially in transition, it's like, I mean, I know you guys have probably seen him. Like, some of the times, like, you throw it ahead to him, he'll like throw it backwards between the legs, like, not even look, and it goes perfectly to somebody, and it's like,
You got
to have a big guy to do that.
To have your eyes on that man at all times, because if you don't have your eyes on him, like, you could be standing like on the opposite corner of the court, covered by 4 people, and if he thought you were a little bit open, like, he's getting that ball to you, and it's going to hit you square in the hands. Like, you have to have your eyes up.
That's the difference. Like, the ball is like, some people are good passers, and like, they know you're there, and they can pass it to the corner or whatever, and it might, have to jump and catch. It's like, if you're not looking at him, the ball's hitting you in the head. Like, that's how good the pass is going to be. It's not going to be like it's going to hit you in the head, like, every time.
What I want to talk a little bit more about your relationship with your vets. Like, who's like the vet on your team that's helped you learn the most and helped you adjust to the NBA the most?
I would say helped me learn the most. I would say Jamal Murray, but it's different. Like, we got a bunch of guys that are older. Like, we got DeAndre, we got Jeff, Ish Smith. We have a lot of older guys that, like, teach you different things. But, like, I would say Jamal Murray's probably been like, he's like my locker, like, right next to me in my locker. So we talk a lot. But he's taught me a lot, and obviously, like, we just kind of feed off each other. Like I said, off on the court, and I think that, we have a pretty good connection. Nikola tries to, teach you on the court. He doesn't talk a lot, but like, some of my favorite people that I've met in the NBA is like DeAndre Jordan, Jeff Green, and Ish Smith. Like, I always tell people, like, DeAndre could be the funniest person. I've had a lot of, like, funny teammates, like you guys know too. Like, there's the Silvios, there's the, all these people that are hilarious. Like, Marcus Garrett's funny. Like, DeAndre Jordan is by far the funniest person I've ever met. Like, just naturally, like, walk in a room, make everybody laugh right when he walks in. Like,
who's more athletic, you or Jeff Green?
Who's more athletic?
Yeah, you or Jeff Green.
I mean, probably the answer is probably Jeff Green. He's 35 or whatever he is, 34.
Dude, he flies.
He catches one ridiculous. Like, you'll forget he's in the league, and then he'll catch like an unreal body every single year. Yeah. Like, how old?
I mean, he caught one last night too. Like, he does it. Like, once he gets the ball, like, here, it's over. Like, it's like he's dunking on you, regardless. He dunked on Giannis the same way. It was crazy. I don't even think I've got a technical.
You get a technical?
I haven't got a technical. No, I haven't called anybody.
You didn't get a double tech for the. That was actually going to be my next question. Double tech for the stuff going on with Kyle Anderson and Austin Rivers. That had me dying.
That was a whole lot of nothing. I think I said that in, like, my post game interview, and someone's like, well, "How was your first NBA scuffle?" And I was like, "I don't know if you call it that." Basically, is what happened is, like, in the NBA, you don't let people shoot after the whistle. That's just kind of a thing, and everybody knows that. He tried to shoot it, and so, like, slapped down at the ball, and then, like, he tried to do it again, and I kind of grabbed his arm. So then he, like, fakes shoot it, and, like, elbows me, like, right in the mouth. So I already did my job. Like, I already got him. I already know he's gonna get a technical. I did my job. Like, sometimes my job is just to be out there and piss people off. So I did my job, got him a tech, and I knew it. So, but I still grabbed his arm. Like, he tried to spin around, whatever. I had his arm. So I don't know that was a scuffle, but that's pretty much what happened with that. And I ended up not getting a tech for that either. So I haven't got a tech all year.
Did you get a fine for that? Nothing.
So technicals in the NBA are $2,500 each.
Yeah, but, like, for that, like, just your involvement, they didn't go back and review it, because I know they review a bunch of stuff and always sex fines after the game. Nothing?
No, I didn't get fined, but the funny part was, this is what I love about DeAndre. Like, when I came over, obviously DeAndre's all turned up. Like, I'm like, bro, it's all right. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, this, this happens a lot. And then I come over to the sideline. DeAndre, the first thing he says is like, bro, like I'm paying for your technical. I'm like, DJ, I'm not going to get a technical. He's like, if you get one, I'm paying for it. I'm like, all right, cool. All right.
Yeah, bet. Shit, I'll go do it
That's a
again.
cool bet.
Yeah, saves me $2,500.
What for people that don't know, what does a fine situation look like in the NBA? Do they just take it straight out of your paycheck? Do you get a bill in the mail? Like, do they leave something in your locker? How's that work?
Nah, so you like if you're late, obviously you're gonna get fined. If you park in the wrong spot, you're gonna get fined. If you get technical, you're gonna get fined. So there's a lot of different things you can get fined for.
What are the price tags look on those?
For parking in a wrong spot?
So this is actually a funny story. This is probably the best story of my rookie year. It's funny that you ask, actually. So I have not got a paycheck in the NBA yet. I obviously got my bonus, but I've not got a single NBA paycheck. It's probably like August. And AG, we have a blackout day, which means that we're off for the day. Like you can't come in. There's no trainers in there. There's no rebounders. Like, so it's a blackout day. But AG invites us to his house, which there's a gym at his house. So we're like, all right, we're gonna go play 3-on-3. It's like Bones, Michael, like all of us, the team event. So I'm like, all right, it's a blackout day. I wake up, I go, I drive, and there's these slotted parking spots. Well, and I've done this at the field house multiple times. I just kind of leave my car on, and I run into the locker room, right, to get my shoes. I'm like, well, I don't have shoes, so I need to get shoes. So I leave my car on, park it sideways, right, in 3 spots. And my door's open, my car's on. It probably took me 2 minutes. And I go in, I come out, I go to AG's house. We play 3-on-3. We go to paintball. Like, we have a good time. So I come back for, go to work Monday. And how they tell you have a fine is they just put a piece of paper on your chair so you see it, like, before you sit down. So I come in, I'm about to get dressed, and I look down, and there's a piece of paper on my chair, and it was a $15,000 fine. And I'm like, $15,000? Like, I haven't even got a paycheck. Like, what do you mean $15,000? So you know me. I call, like, our person, her name's Morgan. I'm like, Morgan, $15,000? Like, that's not going to work. Like, we're not going to do this. And obviously with some more colorful language, like, no chance, basically. Like, no, you're not getting my money. And she's like, what do you mean we're not getting your money? It comes straight out. Like, you don't even see that money. And so now I'm like, no, there's no way. You're not taking $15,000 from me, and I haven't even got a single check yet. But turns out she was very nice. And, this is why. So I parked in the 3 spots I parked in are Mr. Cronky, which is our owner.
Okay.
I park in he has 3 spots. Not only did I park in his spot, I parked in all 3 of them sideways. So it's $5,000 for each of those executive spots, and then or whatever owner spots. So I get $15,000 on my chair, and I'm like, Morgan, I'm not paying $15,000. So she was nice, and I was like, look, there's nobody, not a single person at the arena. My car's still on. I was there for 2.5 minutes, and they just caught me on the camera, and they looked up whose car it was, and it was mine. So like, they came in, put the fine sheet. She ended up getting it down to $2,500, which obviously the difference between that and $15,000 when you have never been paid yet is great, but you don't even see the money. Like, it just comes straight out of your account.
If I would have gotten a ticket for $15,000, I would have thrown up.
Bro, it was like I walked in, but I wasn't even like, because I was like, no chance. Like, I was only there for 2 minutes. I'm like, there's no way. This has to be some type of joke. And then she was like, no, we're dead serious. And I was like, bro, you have to get that down. Like, I will literally, my car's still on, doors open. She's like, all right, we'll turn it down to $2,500. And at that point, I was like, you know what? That's good enough for me.
It's kind of similar that way overseas when they do fines, but not quite as much. Like, they'll be like, you're late to practice. It's $80 here. It's $100 there.
So it's like late to practice or workout. You're not really late to practice. That didn't really happen. But like late to a workout is $500. Not paying your incidentals at a hotel is $500. So you can order room service, right? Order a couple cookies, and that's what I do. I get cookies and milk every day, like every time I'm there. So I order like cookies and milk, and I'll pay like $30, for it, $40, whatever, and obviously like a $10 glass of milk, right? Well, so then at the end of the trip, you have to pay for your room service before you check out. Well, if you forget to check out, those like $30 cookies turn into a $500 fine. So it's like sometimes you like order one meal, it's like a $40 meal, you forget to check out, and they put like a $500 fine sheet on your seat. So. Speaking
of your food and what you like to eat and drink, give us a little insight on your soda before games and practice. For the people that don't know, he's the most notorious soda drinker I've ever met in my entire life.
Has anything changed? Like, did you get halfway through a year and like your body hurt or something where you're like, okay, no more Pepsis, no more McDonald's, no more Dunkin'?
To be honest with you, I don't really drink soda anymore. Like, I mean, you guys know, like when I met you, I drank only soda. Like there was no water. There was no water. There was no Gatorade. There was no like. It was like strict soda. Every meal was soda. There was always junk food, but like I drank soda pretty much every meal, every time. Like I'm playing Warzone. Me and Mitch are playing Warzone at 2 a.m. I bang like 5 Pepsis, 5 Cokes. Like that's just kind of how I was in college, and I'll tell the story all the time. Like bro, college I was just strictly going out there playing hard. Like you guys know I wasn't, which I'm not proud of. I wasn't like in there in the gym all the time, like until like my sophomore summer. But like it was strictly off of like love for Kansas and like playing with pride. Like there was not like the strides I've made like playing as far as like my skills. It's crazy. I mean, Oach will probably tell you the same thing. Like you make such a big leap because all you do is play basketball. Like sometimes you're working out 5 times a day. It's different workouts, and but no, there's definitely like a big leap you make, and I definitely don't drink soda at all anymore. Really, to be honest, like I have water jugs like that. I try to drink a certain amount of water every day. I don't eat that healthy, but I definitely don't drink soda.
I want to go back in time a little bit and talk about your recruiting process to Kansas. For the people that don't know, you grew up here. Tell us that story.
Yeah, so basically I grew up in a small town in Kansas called Burlington, Kansas. Camped out at the late nights, went to games, like was a big Kansas fan. My whole family was all Missouri Tigers, my mom's side, but my dad went to Kansas, so I was always a big Kansas fan. And then I moved to Overland Park, still in Kansas, obviously, still pretty close. Always wanted to go to Kansas, but I was like 5. I told you guys too. I was 5'8" my freshman year of high school. So I mean, I was all right. Like I still talked a lot of shit. Like everybody that knows me will tell you, I was 5'8", like talking shit just the same way. As I do now. Like had a big mouth. Probably wasn't the nicest kid, but like I still I love basketball. I love playing pickup. But I was 5'8" literally. So my parents were pretty good, so we knew I was going to grow at some point. But like my dream was to go to Kansas, but like I don't know that I really believed that I was gonna go. And I kept growing, and then my junior year summer with MoKan, I was like 6'5", and had a pretty good summer with them. Ended up getting an offer from Kansas, and I told people this too. Like I used to tell people like, yeah, I'm gonna take my official visits, like because I had all these Oklahoma set up, K-State set up, like I had all these visits like lined up, and then I had my Kansas visit. And basically I was like telling people I wanted to go take my visits. So I'm like, I'm going to give everybody a chance. But like in my mind, I was going to Kansas. Like the whole time, like everybody thought I was going to be a red shirt. Everybody thought like I wasn't going to play, this like, the Kansas kid that, Kansas has to get. So, but I still was going to go to Kansas regardless. Like I didn't care. Like you guys know I showed up and I was just running around trying to chase offensive rebounds. It was just like, like I said, like the pride that I had looking back on it, like, there's not, you don't have as much pride playing in the NBA. You play for, different reasons, but like the pride I had playing for Kansas was like crazy. Like that's how I was playing with like the emotions and like with the yelling. Like I really couldn't help it. I tell people all the time, like, I could not help it. I could not help yell when I got a dunk. Like I couldn't help it.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll come back to the you yelling profanities at crowds and all that other stuff in a second. But you were talking about how you were 5'8" your freshman year. Like, do you think that affected the way that you play now? Like, because you were small, you had to learn how to play the game the right way and have a high basketball IQ to play with MoKan and to play varsity at Blue Valley Northwood. Like, those are good programs. Do you think being short or being small or hitting your late or growth spurt late like helped the way you play now?
Yeah, I think it was definitely beneficial. Like, bringing the ball up, being a point guard most of my life. That's obviously beneficial, like from basketball, just itself. But I think MoKan, obviously, like MoKan helped me out. Just playing a role, like where I was a real bench player. Like I was I wasn't like I was playing for Mocan. I was a part of the Mocan team, but I wasn't really playing. Like I didn't start ever. I didn't start really until the last year of AAU. We had a kid miss practice, and I ended up starting one of the UIBL sessions, one of the last ones, and then kind of broke out in PCM. But I was never starter. Like I didn't play, so it was like you had to play the right way. Like I was never going in there not playing hard. Like literally was gonna play hard no matter what when I got in there because I didn't have much opportunity. But yeah, I think being small obviously helped me.
What was your first call from Coach Self like? Do you remember that? I mean, I know I was kind of a Kansas kid, and I remember my first call from Coach Self. What was that like?
Yeah, I remember it for sure. So we were basically me and my family. I mean, I had been getting a lot of calls like towards the end. Like there was a big list of schools, obviously, and then Kansas kind of wasn't. We figured that they would come in at some point, but I'm already like wanted to narrow down my top 10 or whatever, and kind of waiting on Kansas. And so then I get a call from like a random Kansas number. I can't remember where it was from, but I'm at a pizza place with my family. And I wasn't even going to answer because you get those calls that are just random calls. So I wasn't going to answer it. I was like, all right, I answered it, and I heard his voice, and like I already knew. I'm like, oh yeah. He was like, hey stud, this is Coach Self. And I was like, yeah, Coach, I know. Like, like I hear you. And so I got up, walked to the bathroom at this pizza place, and basically we talked for a little bit. And the funny thing is, I like tell people this all the time, like. Coach Self, what I liked about him, because it's kind of like similar to how my parents were, but what I liked about him is he didn't promise me anything. Like the first thing he looked at me in my face, like, look, Christian, I'm gonna be honest with you, like we've got at the time it was Sam Williamson, Cassius Stanley. Like if you guys remember how big the hype was for those guys, like coming in, like he's like, we got these guys ahead of you, like, and we got one spot. He was like, we want you. He's like, we want you, but to be honest, Christian, we don't need you. Like, and I was like, no, that's great recruiting, like. But that's what he looked me in my face. Was like, we want you, but we don't need you. He came for the in-home visit, told me the same thing. Like, it was like a week later, I think he came and told me the same thing. Like, hey, basically, we're not going to wait on you. Like, if one of these other kids wants to commit ahead of you, then he can commit. So I took my K-State visit already. And I had an Oklahoma visit, and I want to say like Michigan State or something lined up. And he came for his in-home visit, told me the same thing. Like, hey, we got one scholarship left. You, Cassius Stanley, Samuel Williamson, but we don't need you. Like our program will be fine, if we don't get you. But we want you. And so my parents, like when he left, were like, Christian, like, what are you waiting? Because I tried to be like, kind of not play hard, but like. I wanted to wait it out and not act like I was so set on Kansas, So I was like, well, I'm going to take my visits, coach, and it's nice to meet you, but, we'll let you know where things go. So he leaves the house. My parents are like looking at me like, why did you not commit? Like, what are you doing? And they're like, you need to commit to Kansas. You need and I'm looking at them like, yeah, I want to take my visits. I want to talk to these schools. And, but in my mind, I wanted to go there the whole time. I just didn't want to say it. Because I'm, stubborn the same way Coach Self is. But I did appreciate like him. He was just super honest, like throughout the whole process. And obviously, I wanted to go to Kansas the whole time, anyways.
100%. That's the thing that's so cool about Coach Self is he's gonna be real with you. Like he's not gonna beat around the bush. He's gonna tell you what he's thinking. And in practice, like that goes such a far way, like, so far with a lot of guys because he's not gonna hide what he's thinking. Like if he's mad at you, he's gonna tell you what he wants you to fix, and you'll fix it.
Yeah, you'll always know. That's another thing. Like you always know where you stand. You'll never have to say, like, what does Coach think about me? Like he's going to tell you what he thinks, and he's going to tell you what you need to do. And if you do it, you do it. If you don't, sorry. Like then that's what I like about him. Like that's why me and him. Everyone's like, how many times did Coach Self like really yell at you? And I'm like, me and him didn't have many problems because like he told me what he wanted me to do and was honest about it, and I went and tried to do it. Like. Didn't try to argue with him. Didn't try to like, and that was probably because like I looked up to him for so long. I know Mitch, you probably feel the same way. Same with you, Chris. But like, probably because I looked up to him so long, is like, I never second guessed anything he said. Not once. I was like, you know what? He could have told me like, Christian, we see you as a 5-man, and I would have been down there like posting up hard as shit. Like that's just how I looked at him. Like I trusted him, and he told me what I needed to do, and it was just like whatever he said went. And people ask me that too. They're like, hey, are people like? Because we always hear stories like, oh, this guy was late to the bus, or this guy was, doing this at other schools. And I'm like, man, that shit never happened in Kansas. Like,
Never.
I think that's just because like people's respect for Coach Self, but that shit never happens. And like for me, it was like I was not going to let him down. Like I wasn't. That was my thing.
100%. I wanted to go back even farther and talk a little bit about your experience playing in Blue Valley Northwest. You played for another great coach there. I mean, what was your experience like there? I know you came in from Burlington and you were a small town Kansas kid coming to, I would say Overland Park's the biggest city in the world, but it's still much larger than Burlington. So what's that like?
Yeah, I'll break it down for you for sure. The difference between Burlington and Overland Park is my town's population was smaller than my grade, or my school, I guess, my school. So, like, the town difference between, I moved, and, like, my mom, there's another whole funny story about how we moved, but basically my mom picked our shit up, moves it to Overland Park without telling anybody. Didn't tell my dad, like, look, Donnie, you can either come with us, or you can sit there. We don't really care. Like, because he was, like, he was in love with his small town, medicine and whatever. And she's like, look, you can either come with us or, get on, basically. And picks us up, moves us to Overland Park. This is the second day of high school. You got to think, I don't know anybody, not a single person at this school. Like, my mom just thought it was a better opportunity. So, basically, freshman year, knew nobody, sat basically by myself at lunch. People at Blue Line will tell you, like, I sat at lunch by myself every single day of my freshman year. Like, it was just, I didn't know anybody. I wasn't, good at meeting people. Y'all know, unless I'm, like, very comfortable, I don't really talk.
You weren't probably the nicest kid either at that point.
And then, so basically, like, from there, got to know some people on the team, like Sam, Sam, Mitch, like, Sam, those guys, Max, Markel, like, they did a really good job of kind of, introducing us. But, like, we would come to pick up, and it's like, I'm 5'8", Parker's just some skinny, goofy kid. It's like, everybody's like, Coach Fritz wanted these guys, like, so it's like, we ended up growing into that. But, like, at first, it was definitely weird. And then obviously, like, I have a better bond with Coach Fritz, than most people. Like, he's one of my favorite people in the world. Like, he trusted in me, and my senior year obviously was a blessing, like, just to have him. But I still have that bond with him till this day, and so, like, the move to Blue Valley Northwest was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, to be honest.
What was it like having one brother at Kansas and one brother at Mizzou? What's your guys'? I know this is something interesting for the fans. What's your guys' relationship with Mizzou now?
What is our relationship with Mizzou?
I mean, more of like how do you guys feel about Mizzou? You guys
Mizzou, CB, let it hang out. We got to go to it when we played it out.
Yeah, I'll say I think you guys know how I feel about Mizzou, and that's probably just a competitive thing. Like, there's a lot of people there I really really like. Like, you guys know, like, my best friend Isaiah Mosley's there. Parker had some good friends there with Kobe Brown and those guys. Like, there's obviously some people we like there, but, like, I've been wanting to bust their ass since I was, like, 10 years old. So that shit's been, how it's been for a while. And then my uncle obviously was a really good player there. So that rivalry just with my family was, obviously really fun. And then, so you guys know, like, I told you guys this, like, when we played Mizzou, I never ever ran out of the tunnel and yelled in my whole life. Like, I ran out of the tunnel at Mizzou, the first time we played Mizzou at the Fieldhouse, and started yelling. I'm like, what am I? This is pregame. Like, what am I doing? Like, and then obviously I scored, like, 10 quick points, like, quick ones, and probably used all of my energy in the first 15 minutes of that game. Like,
I thought you were going to grade out 50.
Yeah, no, you killed that first.
I thought you were going to grade out 50.
Bro, I thought I was on. I had like 10 points in like the first 6 or 7 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting 40, and I end up with 13. But it was like it might have been the loudest 13 points in KU history. I think, like, just the way I was feeling. It's like I had nothing for you guys in the second half. I couldn't help you. Like, I was probably.
I don't think we needed it in the second half.
But we
were up 40, so it didn't matter. Like, you could have quit after the first 10 minutes. We could have played 1-on-5 and whooped them that game.
Like, we beat them so bad, but it was like, bro, that game, like, the energy I expended in, like, the first 10 minutes of the game, and then just how we beat them, like, couldn't have gone any better. It was like, that was another thing. It was like, do I go back to school and have to play them again? Like, or we beat their ass, and, like, that, that was one of the most fun games of my life. And it was, like I said, probably the loudest 13 points I've ever scored.
We checked in the Human Victory cigar, and we got up out of
there. Peace. Well, okay, let's go back to some more, like, hatred in college. I was thinking about shit today, and I was thinking about the Oklahoma game last year. And you hit the dagger three. What'd you say to the fan on the sideline? I'm sure they'll clip it in this video real quick. But what'd you say? And like, what was the emotion going through? Because at the end of the year, you really let go. Like you were just kind of not taunting everybody, but the TV was getting you on some incriminating clips.
Yeah, but it was the end of the year. But like, my freshman year I couldn't do it as much because my role was smaller, and then I obviously started a couple games my freshman year, going into the tournament before it got shut down. But like, I had that in me, but it was like I didn't let it out as much. Like same way. Like right now, it's like I got to get comfortable before I do things like that, and obviously I don't want people to see that side of me right away. So kind of got comfortable at Kansas, and then once I got comfortable, it was like my sophomore year, the shit that happened at Kentucky, the clip that everybody has, like.
That one was very odd. Like you could hear that one very well too. Like there was
the gym was empty. That's not my fault. If the gym was full, nobody would have heard me. But so that's not my fault. But then I got real comfortable my junior year, and it's like, all right, I'm starting to feel like this is my team. Like this is me and Oji's year. Like I'm like, all right. Because if you guys remember at Madison Square Garden first year of the year, like I was terrible. I wouldn't say I was terrible. I mean, Oji was so good that it didn't matter. But I had like 6 points and airballed twice. So it was like I had a terrible first game, but then we went to Florida, and I still played really well in Florida. Like was scoring a lot, made like the all tournament team, which obviously doesn't matter. But then the Dayton, yeah, the little head tap, and don't know where that came from. Never practiced that once in my life, and then from there, to be honest with you, like from there. I couldn't like everything I did was just like natural. Like now you guys never saw me in practice like practicing pointing at people and like
you don't practice head tap and so like it's not like you get 10 reps of head taps and like before
but I never did that. I just like I went out there and it was like I dunked on somebody and like I just like stuff started coming out of my mouth and I was just like that's just what it was gonna be. Like whatever I did, hit a three, like you said the Oklahoma game, like getting into that. I have no idea what I said to them. Like I really don't. It was probably foul. Like it was probably very uncalled for. But like they might have deserved it. Like, but I hit a big shot and like I heard something. They had been saying something behind me the whole game, and I didn't shoot that many threes. But like I'm like, and to be honest, I think that might have been a bad shot. I think there was like still time left on the clock, right?
Well, it was a terrible shot, and it like squeaked its way in too.
Yeah. So like. The thing is like that's pretty unlikely. Like normally I catch it and drive it, but for something with those guys behind me, like I caught it, shot it, and immediately was like calling them every name I've ever they were chirping behind me, so maybe they deserved it, but like that's the first thing that came to my brain was to look at them and start yelling.
That was a great clip, but you brought up the Dayton thing, and it kind of reminded me. Tell the people what Coach Self's reaction was to the head tap point when we were playing Dayton and was it Orlando that year?
It was at Disney.
Yeah, it was.
So I can't remember exactly what he said in the locker room, but if you guys remember, at the time we were up a lot.
Yeah,
and we were up like a lot and had a pretty controlling lead. I dunk on him, say what I said. Me and Joe, I think like chest bump after the attack, and then he takes me out, which is like there's like a minute and a half left or something. Like there's not a lot of time left.
Yeah.
But he takes me out because most coaches in college take you out if you get attacked, and he takes me out, and I'm like, Coach, like what are we doing here? Like why am I out? It's a tech, and bro, they go on like a little 6-0 run. Not a lot, but it was like they hit a couple of shots going into the half, and it kind of felt like they had momentum, and then like we lost. So I was like, and then looking back, we lose by 1. The game winners hit over me, obviously. That bounces in, and it's like he never blamed it on me. Obviously, he was just like, we can't make mistakes like that in close games. And I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm like, Coach, get out of here. Like, I made the mistake when there was a 15-point lead. You take me out, they go on a 6-0 run, like. But obviously, I would never say that to him. Like, we talked about it, joked about it. But, like, at the time, I'm like, man, you took me out. Like, that's not my fault. We would have went on a 5-0 run again if you would have left me in. Like, that's how I think, though. But obviously, at the time, looking at him, like, yes, sir. That type of deal. So, He didn't really care. He kind of let me be me, and that's another thing I like about Coach Self. And I mean, you guys know, like me and him had a pretty good relationship. There was never any back and forth much, but we like to joke, and he's pretty much had a similar personality. So he let me be me, and that's pretty much it.
100%, 100%. Let's get into the fan questions now. We posted it on Instagram, posted it on Twitter. I had a couple really good ones, and I wanted to start off with the first one. Dylan asks, "What does the atmosphere of the NBA playoffs compare to March Madness?"
That's a good one. I'll start with compared to Allen Fieldhouse. So when I got to the NBA, that's another thing I've said to you guys. I feel like I was playing off of raw pride. I really loved playing for Kansas, and I was playing hard. And you walk into the Fieldhouse, and there's no option. To be honest with you, you guys know there's no option but to play hard. There's not. You got 16,000 fans screaming, yelling, jumping up and down. You love that place and those people so much, and you have teammates in college that you love. Obviously, you guys, and you get to you get close with your team, and it's man, I want to go hard for these guys. I want to go hard for this coach. He recruited me, he invested his time, his money, all that, and I wanted to do that. It's everybody in college is going to play hard. Those games mean more. There's less of them. So every game at the Fieldhouse, there's 16,000 people jumping up and down. But you could go in an NBA game and you could play in, say it's Detroit. Obviously, Detroit's not always like that. They used to be really good. But, Orlando, whatever it is, you could go to those places and it's people don't even cheer when you score. It's they go in there and sometimes it's they sit there kind of for the show, oh, I'm at an NBA game, that type of deal.
Yeah.
And basically you go in there and it's you have to get yourself up. Coach Self says it all the time, you don't have to get yourself up for a game at the Fieldhouse, but in the NBA games, you have to get yourself up. You have to energize yourself. And you're playing, like I said, you're playing for a different reason. You don't know your teammates as well. You don't hang out with your teammates as much. In some situations, Denver, obviously now, I mean, our team's really close. Our team at Denver now, but at the beginning of the year, it's I know none of these guys. I couldn't, some of these guys I've never seen before. You don't talk to your coaches as much. It's a different vibe, and you grow into that. And I think our team is really close now. But playing in college, you have a real love for the people you play with and the place you're at. So you have no choice but to play hard. But you could go to, Orlando on a Tuesday, and there could be nobody in the stands. So it's completely different.
I have another one, and outside of Allen Fieldhouse, obviously, and the coaches and players, what's the one thing that you miss incredibly about Lawrence, Kansas?
Oh my goodness, a lot.
Why is it 14th in Ohio?
Yeah, why does it have to do with one of the 3 bars that are located on Ohio Street?
I never really went to those bars. I wasn't like you guys, but
Dude, shut your mouth.
You guys were bad. You guys were bad influences when I was getting older. But Lawrence, you go there and it's Kansas in general. I would say that people are so genuine in Kansas. I know that sounds weird, but living somewhere else, I mean, people are great in Denver too. But going to bigger cities, you don't know these people, but you go in Kansas and it's people only care about Kansas basketball in Kansas. I think I've realized that. So people, show you a different type of love and a different type of support. And then obviously being, a Kansas basketball player, the love and everywhere you go, it's somebody recognizes you and people treat you really well. And obviously everywhere you go, people treat you well. So that's probably what I miss most about Lawrence, the town itself. And obviously this is another thing, being away from Jalen and being away from DeJuan. Because I remember I told you guys, I was really hesitating, damn, am I gonna go a whole year? I'm supposed to have think about it, my senior year after we won the national championship with NIL in Lawrence, Kansas. Oh my God, I told Jalen, bro, we might get arrested, that type of deal. So
they had to pull me out of campus. By the time my lease came up, they pulled me out.
You would have made $1 million for sure.
Huh?
You would have made 7 figures for sure.
Well, yeah, whatever I would have made, I could have made, 150,000 and thought I was the coolest thing, So, that's what I'm saying. You could have gave me $50,000, I would have, wanted to come back. But, bro, I was dang, I'm really gonna miss, being around Coach Sell, being around what do you think? Like the managers, like all the people that you like ran into, you get to know them for years. Like you get to know these guys for 3 years, and it's like, damn, I'm really gonna wake up and not ever because eligibility is different. Like once that deadline passes, you can't go back. So you think about it. You go up to that day, and it's like, all right, today's the day I have to decide, what I want to do. So, just looking back, like, damn, Jalen, we could have played, Jalen and Juan, like, man, we could have played one more year together. Like that was honestly like I struggled with that definitely in the beginning.
How is the preparation different between March Madness and the NBA playoffs? Like, is there something different between those, or what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, so in college, preparation is like completely different. You're preparing for a team. You're preparing for more sets. The preparation is completely different. Like a lot of times in college, you might get 3 or 4, 5 days to prepare for, K-State. Like if you give us 5 days, if you give the University of Kansas and Coach So 5 days to prepare for Kansas State, come on, bro. Like it's going to be a blowout. But like in the NBA, you get 4 games in a week, so you have back to backs. You could play 4 games in 5 days. Like you go back to back, go home, back to back, or something. Something like that. Like so, there is no preparation sometimes. Like but then you get to the playoffs, and you're not preparing for sets as much. You're preparing for tendencies. Like you're preparing for Kevin Durant loves to go left. Devin Booker loves to go left. If they go left, they're pulling up. If they go right, they're going all the way to the basket. Like you're preparing for player tendencies more than you're preparing for sets. And then a lot of the preparation is more your body. Like this is another thing I haven't really talked about much. Like because I haven't done many of these, but like in college, how many times did you guys see me go to the training room and like do compression boots or like none? I never once, and I never missed a practice, never missed a game. Like obviously not gonna wood, but like I never once was like, man, I need to go in here and get some recovery boots and get in the ice tub or ice bath. Like I never did that. That's just wasn't something I cared about. It's like, all right, let's get over practice, and me and Mitch were like, hey, bro, 5 o'clock, get done with dinner with your girlfriend. 5 o'clock, we're on Warzone. Like let's get to it, Like
That's scheduled.
so,
5 o'clock to
like
2 a.m., baby.
Yeah. Preparation in the NBA is like basically all about your body and getting rest and tendencies more than play. So there's a lot of difference, but like, yeah, college is definitely different for me. Like I didn't once try to ice bath or like, I mean, you guys saw me in there. Like I was going out there stretching and trying to play hard. So but I want to talk about this too. Like we can get into it later, but like how hard like our team last year practiced. That like I think that was a big reason why we won. Like looking back, like that was I don't know if you guys agree, but like our best players. I mean, our red team was obviously really good, but our best players all were like in practice, playing blockout break, going hard. Like Ochai, you guys know how Ochai is. Like he doesn't want to skip a rep.
No.
And then me, I don't want to compete with Och. Like so, me and Och are always competing with each other, whether we're on the same team or not. Like. It's like I wanted to be in every rep too, and then like I think that was nothing. Like our team wanted to be like we had guys that thought. And I don't think anybody's ever talked about this. I think we had guys that thought they were better than each other, so it made us compete. Like it made us in practice. Like for example, like I obviously thought I was better than Och. Like same way Och should think he's better than me. That's how it should be. But like we were coming in every day at practice. Like I'm not missing a practice, so so Och can get ahead of me, or he's not going to miss his reps. So like. I think that made our team better. Like we had every like Jalen, he thinks he's just as good as me and Och, and he is obviously like he's gonna get drafted too. So we had a lot of guys like competing. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but like I think that was good. Like Mitch can bump with Dave. Like there was a lot of things that was like, man, we wanted in practice. Nobody wanted to get off the court because if you get off the court, there goes the opportunity. That's how I felt.
It was a war. Our last year, and like you were saying, it really started with you and Ochai, and then but if you have your 2 leaders, 3 leaders, however many you consider we had last year, going at it at practice, like everybody's going at it. Like we were having bloodbaths, like we were all talking shit, all getting in each other's faces, nerves. But then the thing I loved about it was like we would sit there and we would almost get into almost like a brawl at practice or be yelling at each other. And then we got in the locker room and it's like, all right, turn the music up. Everyone's dapping each other up. Like, hey, let's get on Warzone. Like it was cool as soon as we stepped off the court. But like last year, and I think that you saw a little bit with the Kansas team this year, it wasn't as talented, but like there was a switch in our brain when we stepped across those lines that it was like, all right, it didn't matter. It was like, let's go.
Yeah, that's what, like, I've told people that a lot. And like I said, I haven't said it much like out loud, but just the way, like, if you ask Ocha, I'm guaranteed he thinks the same way. Like, and that's how you're supposed to think. That is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to come in like, this person isn't better than me, or Jalen, and Ochai. I guarantee you, if you ask each one of them who's the best one, we're all going to say ourselves. Like, and that was good for us. Like, we all, but then at the same time, it's like we all wanted to compete. We all wanted to score, but like, we all had the same, like, all right, if we don't win this national championship, a guy like me probably not going to get drafted in the first round. So like, we wanted to win the championship together. We wanted to do, like you said, like, we're like, all right, we're going to have practice, like, but we're all going to go out together. Like, we're all going to be like, we were like, we were like practicing like Elite Eight, but we go to the Elite Eight, but we're all out that night. Like, we had a good balance of like, what we wanted to do, good competition, like, guys that were tough. Like, bro, Mitch, like, Dave would probably tell you this, like, bro, Mitch definitely pushed Dave every single day. Like, Remy and Dewan, there's no question that them two, knowing that they could take each other's spot, there's no question that it pushed them. Like, that was my thing. Like, I think looking at this year, I don't know if we should put this in here, but we might have to cut it out. But I think that there was guys that weren't like, all right, I'm better than that guy. There was guys that were like, all right, Dewan's better than me. Like, I'm going to just sit behind him. Like, that was my thing. I think that our team pushed each other, and it was like we competed and we loved each other at the same time. But like, our competition definitely helped our team.
And I agree with that statement. And Mitch, you can follow me up on this, but like the years that we were shitty, like when it was the year after 2018, so 2019, 2020, like we had no competition. Like there was no
the separation between the first group and the second group was
like if someone messed up, they weren't getting taken out because the guy below them wasn't like nearly as good, or they had a different scheme. I think that kind of what led into this year is like, if Jay Will isn't playing good, who are you going to play at the 4? Like, you're going to have to bring KJ up to the 4, then bring someone else in the 5, essentially run 2 bigs. Like, it switches up everything.
I don't know if you guys remember. This is actually a good story too. I don't know if you guys remember. For me, coming into the year, it was like, and it was this every year at Kansas. Like, you see, I'm different. I like to look at everything on Twitter. Like, see everything that they're talking about. Like, let me hear it. Like, please. So coming in, I know that people were saying like Jalen Coleman-Lands was gonna, do this and do that. Like, he's gonna play over CB, which is great. He was great for us, obviously. But like coming in, so then we had a recruit visit. It was MJ Rice, and he came in, and we played pickup. But this is at the beginning of the year before any roles were carved out. Coach Sub doesn't promise anybody anything. Ochai Abaji is going to get the shots. We know that. That's what we knew coming.
That was about it going into last year, though. Like,
that's it. We know Oach is a senior, and everybody who waits their turn is going to get their shots. Jalen waited his turn; he got his shots. Like this last year, so we knew coming in, Ochai Abaji was going to get his shots, and that's all we knew. Like, I mean, I was pretty confident in myself, obviously, but like, and where I was going to be, but. Jalen Coleman-Lands comes in. He's brand new. I'm saying, like, damn, he can shoot. Like, he can really shoot it. Like, I need to, push myself. MJ Rice comes in for a visit, and he's obviously young. And we're playing pickup in they're on whatever. They're on the same team, or on opposite teams. And Jalen Coleman-Lands starts busting MJ's ass. Like, I don't know if you guys know that. Like, Jalen Coleman-Lands was going crazy. Like, midi pull up 3, hezzy 3, and I'm like, at the end of the first game, I'm like, hey, NJ, switch, bro. Like, piss me off. I'm like, bro, because that shit gets back. Like, that, it gets back to the coach. I'm like, no, we're not doing this shit anymore. Like, MJ, get off him. MJ's like, turns around to me, which I like. He's like, no, like, I got him. I'm like, all right, bro, then guard him. Like, you got him, then you got him. Like, he just made every shot. And so we kind of get into it a little bit. Next game, Jalen's still hitting shots. You guys know Jalen, like, he's a good shooter if you leave him open. Like, and young guys don't really know. Like, guys driving, he's a young guy, make young mistakes. And so I'm like, bro, get off him. Like, so me and MJ Rice, a high school kid, are like getting into it over guarding Jalen Coleman-Lands, because I'm like, bro,
a 28-year-old.
A 27-year-old. Like, I can't let Jalen Coleman-Lands come in here and coach here that he's in here busting everybody's ass. I can't have that. So now I'm arguing with a freaking 18-year-old about switching. I'm like, bro, like, so that's how I'm wired, and like, I know that's how our team was last year, but like, the competition was great for us, and that's just like an example of it.
I just think people like don't realize we were in March, like diving on the floor, loose balls, people getting stitches in practice. Like there's no slowdown when it comes to like a Kansas practice.
Losing, by the way, but there was definitely. What school did we go?
TCU.
I think it was the Final Four in New Orleans. We went to a school and we lost in the first 6 minute. We just did 6 minute blockout break instead of 10, and the red team beat us at the place. And I tell people that all the time, like, bro, it wasn't like we were just like killing our red team. We lost to our red team in the Final Four in blockout break, and then we were. But the thing is like we weren't like, oh, we need to get off our feet. We're sitting here like, man, run that shit back. Like,
only 6 minutes? No, dog. We're playing 20. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, we're like, no, add some time on the clock. Like, no, that's bullshit. You know, they got the ball more than us. That type of deal. So like, that's how we were, and that's what I like. Like, and Oach is the top. Like, bro, he played so many minutes, and he's like, we lose and blackout break, and we're all looking at each other like, we're not done. Like, play this shit again. Like, so that's what I enjoyed about that team.
If you had to have one, this is going to be a little bit different, but if you had to have one recruiting pitch to any of the transfers we're targeting right now, what would you say to them?
Look, this is easy for me. I'd look Hunter Dickinson in the face, and I'd tell him, look, if you go watch how many times we threw the ball to the corner of the backboard for Udoka Azubuike, and if you think you can't get 24 and 12 here, you're out of your mind. Like, Coach Self has been waiting for that. Like, especially with having KJ was great for him last year, but having a smaller 5-man, bro, there's no way Hunter Dickinson doesn't see how we run our offense and know that Coach Self is they're gonna sit there and practice, and they're literally gonna work on the guards are gonna work on throwing the ball to the corner basket every time. Every time the ball touches the slot, they're gonna throw the ball to the corner every single play. And if Hunter Dickinson doesn't see that and commit, I don't know how he doesn't see that. To be honest with you. I think Hunter Dickinson should be a for sure Kansas commit. I don't know if he will. And honestly, I have a Villanova teammate that doesn't think he will either. So, but I don't know. I don't even know if he's committed yet. He probably was committed while I was asleep. But if Hunter Dickinson doesn't think he can get 25 and 10 at Kansas, he's crazy.
He hasn't.
I look at all of his options. I look at all of his options, and I'm like, there's the best place for him to be plugged in and be a National Player of the Year is Kansas. Like.
It's not even close.
Coach Self loves big men. Like, he will throw you the ball every damn time. Like, we would do things last year where we would be like, the ball has to touch the paint with the big guy. You have to throw it to the big guy or we can't shoot the ball.
That's what they're going to do in practice. They're gonna get all around him. They're going to say, look, if this ball doesn't touch Hunter's hands, don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. Like, 100%, that's what they're going to do. And, like, that's what I'm saying. I almost wanted to DM him myself and be like, Hunter, look, bro, he's going to throw – I know Coach Self has told him. I know they're going to do their job. But, like, Hunter, they're going to throw you the ball every single time. You have DeJuan Harris, who is going to make you look amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just signed a shooter, right? Like, what's his name? Timberlake or whatever?
Yeah.
They signed a shooter so, like, they can't collapse on you. Like, you have other good players around you where they can't help as much. And Coach Self is going to throw you the ball, especially because they know he's going to be, like, their guy. Like, that's their guy. So, I don't know why he wouldn't commit to Kansas. Obviously, I haven't looked at his other options as much, but I thought Hunter Dickinson would be a for sure Kansas guy.
That was my opinion, and like dude, that's an automatic National Player of the Year. If he comes to Kansas and stays healthy for a whole year, I will take a mortgage out on the house that I rent and place it on Hunter Dickinson being the National Player of the Year.
25 and 10, bro. He's skilled too. It's not like, but we've had big men, to be honest. Like, I mean, Doak's obviously not a good example. Like, he's a freak. Doak's one of the best college basketball players I've ever seen, but like. But he's skilled. Like, if you throw him the ball, he's going to score. Like, he's got, he's really good. So it's not like we've had guys who I feel like we've thrown the ball to who aren't near as skilled as him that have scored a lot just because of the offense. Like, what are they going to do? Run 4 game a couple times, make the ball touch the paint. They're going to throw it to the slot, and then they're going to throw the ball directly to the corner of the basket. He's going to have a seal. He's going to score a left-hand layup every single time.
And that's 12 extra points a game. Like, it's not like he's going to have to work for those 12 points. Like, Coach Self's going to touch a part on his face, and it's going to be, all right, Hunter Dickinson is scoring 2 points.
That's like kind of like when Ochai was like I said, like Doak. We're going to throw it to Doak. Like Ochai we threw 4 points no matter what for him just on lobs. It was like you said, Coach Self's going to look at us out of a timeout or side out of bounds, and it was like, all right, Och, 2 points. You might as well just count it. You might as well count. Like, that's how good his sets are. So if you're looking at that, and it's like, especially with the success they've had. Like they were the number one team all last year. Probably like you said, Chris, with less talent. Like we won the national championship the year before. It's like, bro, how does Hunter Dickinson not look at that and say, like, this is exactly what I want to do?
Be the man.
Maybe he's never been. That's
He came. I don't know.
You know what, though?
We got to say our prayers before we go to bed tonight.
Bro, he came on a bad week, though. Here's the thing. If you send me and Jalen Wilson back there for his official, he's committed. I'm telling you.
I tried to go.
Somebody didn't do their job.
I thought he was in town. I went back.
Did you go back?
I went back. I thought he was. I thought he was going to be there Friday and Saturday. So I went back on Saturday all day and hit up the boys. I was like, "Yo, what's up? Like, how we doing?" And they were like, "He left earlier today." So I thought I could have my campground on that.
Did he go out?
I don't know. I didn't really ask too much into it, honestly. After that, I kind of was disappointed. I think I drove back.
Yeah. See, the thing is, though, if we would have got him into that Dirty Bird, it would have been a wrap.
And that was the thing. I'm surprised we didn't get more. We didn't really recruit that much for the year after the Natty year, but like our recruiting had to have been top tier that year because we were all together, just like having a time.
Bro, I tell people all the time, I never missed on a recruit. I think I missed on Mark Mitchell a little bit, but like remember Tyon came, DeJuan came. Like I was like 100%, and it was easy. Like the formula's easy. You know what I'm saying? We're all going to meet up with McCarthy. We're going to go to the Bird, and it's going to be what it is. Like, if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't
have a fun time, then do you have a pulse?
Yeah,
well, then
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. If you don't have a fun time doing that, like, you might as well just not come, to be honest with you.
Don't go to
imagine it now. They're all getting paid absurd amounts of money. Like, you get to go be in school at the University of Kansas, and you're going to make 7 figures.
Bro, it was free when they were recruiting us. We weren't coming for any money, so it was like, bro, I told DeJuan, like, you know, come on, and all he did was like, yep, and then Tyon, all Tyon did was walk into Brothers, and Tyon was like, oh, I'm committed.
That was the formula, though. Like, you take them to the Hawk for the first hour. If they weren't feeling the Hawk, it's like, all right, let's head down to Mass real quick, hit up Brothers, and hopefully Kenny Logan and Marcus had the Ox.
I'm like, hey, Marcus, what does Brothers look like? I mean, this shit lit. Come on. I'm like, but you can walk in. You know, Marcus, he thinks everything's lit. So it's like you could walk into Brothers one day, and he'd be like, oh, yeah, it's fun. Come on. It could be nobody in there.
There's 30 people in there, and he's on the Ox with NBA Youngboy.
But you could walk in there on a Saturday, a lot of blue drinks in the air.
Well, hey, I think we're running out of time here. Appreciate you, CB, for coming on. A great episode. Appreciate all the fans for asking questions. We're signing off, though. Rock Chalk Unplugged. We're out. Rock Chalk, baby.
Appreciate you guys.